Welcome back to the channel, everyone, in this week's comic book review and recap. In the 25th century, twins Michael and Michelle Carter were born to a loving mother and to a father with a gambling addiction who eventually abandoned them and left them in severe debt. Despite this, Michael still went on to play college football, and his teammates nicknamed him Booster. Soon his mother took ill, but the family could not afford the treatment to cure her. Booster resorted to placing bets on his own games, then throwing those games. And after getting his mother the treatment she needed, Booster was found out and sent to jail for his crimes. After serving his time, Booster became a security guard at the Metropolis Museum, where exhibits about 20th century superheroes were shown to the public. One day, he decided to steal some of those artifacts and become a superhero of his own. Except he did not want to be a superhero in the 25th century, he wanted to go further into the past. With his knowledge of history, he could make a major impact in the 20th century and become the famous superstar he always felt destined to become. Taking with him a security robot named Skeets, and using Rip Hunter's time machine, he did exactly just that. Booster went back in time to start a new life. Hi, I'm Booster Gold. At least that's what the comic book world first heard and read in February of 1986. Created by Dan Jurgens, Booster Gold would go on to become a cult fan favorite superhero due to his obnoxious personality, his lack of common sense or ability to learn the customs and slang of 20th century America, and his inability to recognize that he is looked upon as a joke by the superhero community like the entire Justice League. In short, he's a poser. With that in mind, let's get into his first ever appearance. Booster Gold Volume 1, Issue Number 1 begins in the offices of dccomics. Circulation is down. They're out of good ideas for new superheroes that connect with the public, and their assistant managing editor is pulling out his hair. That is, until he glances over at the newspaper and an idea pops into his head. A reality comic starring none other than Metropolis's newest protector, Booster Gold. Meanwhile, at the Metropolis Athletic Club, Booster and Conrad, a movie studio representative, are on the treadmill as they negotiate the movie rights to Booster's life. It's obvious from the first moment when we meet our new hero. He's a narcissist, and he's an egomaniac. Still, he's able to force a $5 million payday for himself. The two finish up negotiations and head to the bar for a drink. On the way, Booster mingles with other celebrities and a senator who calls him Buster, which annoys the crap out of him. After a quick drink, Booster hands his glass back in. Unbeknownst that a stranger is taking it from the bartender, for reasons unknown, Booster then heads to his waiting limo, and he doesn't recognize his new driver and calls her Bambi, the name of his old driver, except her name is Sunny. She says that they're running late and that he should shake a leg, to which Booster, still unfamiliar with 20th century slang, actually shakes his leg, and then gets into the limo only to be met and scolded by Skeets, his robot partner, who thinks he needs to spend more time learning language and customs, to which Booster threatens to turn him into a toaster. They begin to drive, and Booster spends his time contacting his agent at Gold Star, his own corporation based on himself and his ability to take advantage of history for financial gain. Booster demands to talk to Trixie, the receptionist. He needs her to find the phone number to the Justice League of America, for sure that they're just waiting for him to call so they can make him chairman of the whole organization. But unfortunately, their number is unlisted, and Trixie's having no luck. Just then, a large red armored vehicle sideswipes Booster's limo. Skeets, Sunny, and Booster get out, and Skeets sarcastically suggests that Booster should go after the speeding tank, which of course Booster does. Booster hits it with a low-intensity booster shot, causing it to crash, and forcing Booster to have to save a mother and child. While being flown away, the mother mistakenly calls Booster Superman. They are in Metropolis, after all. Meanwhile, Booster continues to make mistakes with 20th century idioms. Instead of calling someone a turkey, he calls them a turker. Or instead of saying he will rip the perpetrators limb from limb, he says lung from lung. After he clears innocent bystanders from the scene of the crash, Booster turns his attention to the platoon of men hidden inside and now firing their weapons upon him. The blasts have no effect, and the men are no match for Booster's enhanced abilities and equipment. That is, until Booster is called Babyface, and turns to see a large man in blue armor calling himself Blackguard. He overpowers Booster easily, smashing him into the ground. But Booster is able to rebound quickly. The cops cordon off the area, while some of them wonder where Superman is, or even Ambush Bug. Both Skeets and Booster hit Blackguard with energy blasts, but according to Blackguard, they just tickle. He then manifests his energy shield and mace. Meanwhile, at one of the most exclusive apartment and office buildings in all of Metropolis, a mysterious figure sits as his aide walks in with news. That aide, the same man who took Booster's glass from the athletic club. And what's so important about this glass? Well, it has Booster Gold's fingerprints, and now they can run them and figure out just exactly who Booster Gold is. Of course, they don't know he's from a different century, so good luck to them. Back at the fight, Blackguard throws a car at Booster, but Booster is able to send it back. Booster then takes a moment to gloat with the onlookers, which is when Blackguard throws a piece of the car into Booster's back. At that moment, a familiar face, Jimmy Olsen, shows up to broadcast live from the scene. Blackguard follows up his attack and hits Booster with his mace, sending him into a mailbox. Booster becomes concerned by this, not because he's losing the fight, but because it'll hurt him in public image and reputation. It is live, after all, on TV. He then enlists the help of Skeets to distract Blackguard, and then begins to lure him down the street and away from the gathering public. Booster stops and begs Blackguard to take his best shot, which he does, but Booster was just drawing him in. Hidden behind and underneath Booster was an electrical juncture, which Blackguard hits and massively electrocutes himself. Meanwhile, back at Gold Star, Dirk Davis, Booster Gold's agent, is busy making advertising deals for Booster, and an impatient man waits in the receptionist area with Trixie as Dirk runs late. The man is wanting to license the Booster Gold lunchbox, but is attacked by Jack, the office cat, and this man hates cats. But Trixie loves her cats, and forces the man to apologize to the animal. In the meantime, Blaze Comics finally has gotten through to Dirk, and is able to pitch the idea for a Booster Gold comic book, and as licensing and merchandising deals continue to be made, Booster Gold flies above Metropolis, on his way to Star Labs, to return the stolen satellite guidance system he recovered from Blackguard. As he calls into Trixie to check in, she's concerned about getting media coverage for Booster at Star Labs, and Booster is still concerned with contacting the Justice League and letting them know that he has a Legion flight ring. Booster then lands amidst media attention at Star Labs, and as he's being interviewed on live TV, the director of Star Labs calls him a fool because he is prominently showing the stolen satellite equipment on air, and that equipment is top secret. But Booster's need for publicity has trumped his need to do the right thing, or his ability to even see what the right thing is. Just then, Skeets puts out an alert, and a blast of energy disrupts the transmission, as well as knocking Booster Gold to the ground. As they get back on air, the news crew continues to report. A mysteriously costumed female has incapacitated Booster Gold without even touching him, and they continue to ask, could it be that Metropolis's newest protector may in fact be a failure? Although Booster Gold's first ever issue and appearance ends there, in issue number 2 we learn that this new enemy is called Mind Dancer, a now obscure villain that worked sometimes with the 1000, and when unmasked, she has only a fleshless skull. She primarily uses psychic energy absorption and then projection as her weapon, and after Booster Gold, well, there's not much else to her. Such is the world of mid-80s comics. C'est la vie, Mind Dancer. But there you have it. The origin and first appearance of everyone's favorite C-list Justice Leaguer, the one Batman and Green Lantern put on crowd control duty in a crisis, Booster Gold. I hope you enjoyed this look at Booster. Let me know what you think about him in the comment section below. Are you a Booster Gold fan? Think he deserves some big screen time from James Gunn over at DC Studios? I certainly do. And if you want more comic book fun, click on the link to my Welcome to the Comicverse playlist in the description below. And if you did like this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and share it out. It really helps out the channel each week, and I love to hear everyone's thoughts. Thank you for listening, and remember, as always, I'm still your reluctant gringo, still from south of the border. Salud and a huevo.